Hello, friends. Again, as promised, with the beautiful Maria Golding from intuitivemotherhood.com. Now, Maria has amazing insights into inspiring and empowering mothers across the globe, really, but really in terms of coming together and creating their own women's circles or sacred mama circles. And we're going to talk today about activating an offer that's really in your heart, but maybe there isn't a path out there that you've seen online that gives you a step-by-step to do that. So anyway, welcome, Maria. Good to have you here, my love.
Thank you, Victoria. It's so great to be here. It's
Yeah.
my pleasure. Yeah.
Oh, good. No, I really wanted to make sure that people get a chance to see different ways to create a mastermind, right? A mastermind's really just a word for bringing together a collective of your clients and creating that circle of inspiration, support, guidance. So with you look, talk a little about your journey. You sort of started online. We'll tell them what your expertise is first in that journey, and then how you got started online, and give us a bit of an
Okay.
idea or a rundown on that.
Sure. Okay, everyone. So I have a background as a midwife, mental health professional, and I really have been so passionate around the relationship between mothers and children and how to be the best mother you can be. And I've been really privy to work along quite amazing professionals alongside them and learning lots of really cutting edge new information around these topics of how to raise resilient, compassionate, intuitive children and how to thrive as a mother, personally, as well as, as a woman, as well as a mother. So alongside that, I was doing my own journey of I guess, unraveling how I could change, I guess, some of the old patterns in myself from my upbringing and bring something new to my children and also step into my leadership as well. So it was like this, I was walking in mainstream health as well as a lot of alternative practices that I was trying on for myself when the mainstream didn't quite meet what I needed. And I was fusing these together to evolve into, the best mother I could be. And I was finding really amazing ways to be with my children and bring them up and to evolve myself as well. And so I wanted to bring that to mothers because it was so creative and nothing was there. I couldn't fit into mainstream work. In actual fact, they tried to fit me in so many boxes and they gave up trying to fit me in to mainstream. So I decided I wanted to do something online. It was a great way to meet the masses. Also, I felt like the worried well mother wasn't actually getting this really cutting edge leading information. It was mainly going to really tertiary clients. And so I wanted to bring all of that together, and I discovered B School and did B School back in 2011 with Marie Forleo.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was discovering ways to start creating. I was doing some live circles back then. I was creating live circles, and then I was like, I've got to bring this online. So let's do the Intuitive Motherhood program. So I spent a lot of time creating this program, which for the mothers that came and did it, it was amazing. There was life change. They were raved about it. I got amazing testimonials. However, I wasn't finding it easy to market. In actual fact, I was exhausting myself.
Yeah.
And I was stressing around each launch, and whatever I threw money at didn't work. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was a clinician and I didn't know how to do the online world. I didn't understand algorithms and all sorts of things like that. And B School was great, but it didn't give me the personalised attention that I needed to be able to really uniquely bring my gifts forward and capitalise on it. And so it's been years. I've been trialing and testing and I think my last launch was the end of last year with the Intuitive Motherhood program. Once again, amazing content and amazing online experience. I was doing live circles online and we were having live calls. It was amazing. However, once again, it only stayed the same amount of women coming in and I wasn't growing. And I was just like, so many times I was going to give up, but something just kept pulling me forward. that I need to do this work and I've got to find a way to do it. So I must say my grit has been commendable.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
and then I had known Victoria from
B school?
B school way back, and I knew she had been around for a long time, and I knew she brought a lot of expertise to the area, and a lot of people trusted her, and I knew she had results. And so I leaned in and had a chat with her, and that's what led me to join her mastermind.
Yeah, and I remember I was excited to actually meet you in person. You were able to come to my Brisbane workshop in April, and we were really even talking about the seed for this idea then, I recall, in that I knew you had the Intuitive Motherhood course, which was really the course for mothers to get more in touch with their children and get more control of their behaviour. So even that, we worked on a bit of messaging to sort of activate that, created a webinar kind of like, wading through mud a little bit for Maria, because you were very much like it wasn't an enjoyable way for you to kind of frame your expertise.
Yeah.
And then we were able to kind of have that conversation about, well, what is it you really want to do? Like, I guess I sense from you that it just wasn't flowing, right? Like, yes, you created and you put this energy and you'd hired heaps of consultants, you put all these hours in, and as you said, that is still a beautiful showpiece of your expertise, absolutely. But it wasn't flowing because there was this other sort of underlying dream of yours. So do you want to just sort of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I guess I started with running live circles for mothers, and I was doing that all the time in my years in mental health, and so it was part of what I did all the time. But I had somehow got lost up in online, and I was really feeling dry from being so online and not enough live. Part of me was yearning to come out and be live again.
Yep.
And so, I wanted to do that. And I'd forgotten that part of me, but I knew it was there and I just didn't know how to fuse it together.
Yeah. And that you were probably feeling like, okay, it has to either be one-on-one or it has to be an online course, and you couldn't really see, and you'd already created an online course, so the thought of, okay, well, hang on, what's next? And that's when I guess we could, I could see clearly, because it's easier for me to see when you're outside yourself. Like, it's hard to see the label when you're inside the bottle, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
And I find that very much myself as well, as not immune to my clients. But we all do this, right?
Yeah.
And I think what I could see was webinars weren't really lighting you up, despite the fact I thought your webinar was great. I loved it. But that wasn't really lighting you up. So I said to you, why don't you do a live workshop? And within, 2 weeks, you had one and you had it filled pretty much.
Yes, yeah.
And
there was 12 of them there.
Yeah, so tell me about that first workshop.
Yeah.
How many clients did you have, or potential client, come along to that workshop?
Yeah, so it was great to sort of that you could nail and give me the confidence just to do what I really wanted to do. And that was just go out live, and almost it was okay to let the Intuitive Motherhood go to the side for a while, that program that I'd spent so many years on it.
Yeah.
But there was all this part that I could do anyway. So I decided to take the leap of faith, and within 2 weeks had just put an email out to my list and on Facebook. Oh, actually, I joined Meetup as well, which you suggested.
That's right. Yeah.
And I had, within 2 weeks, I was running this live circle, and I had a structure where I could invite them into a discovery call at the end of the circle, which you had coached me through. And so I got names, and they were offered this free discovery call, this free coaching session with me, and they could ask me about the program, the retreat that I was running, Sacred Mama Circles Training and Retreat, which is a certification on how to run Sacred Mama Circles, and I was going to teach them how to do that. And it would involve a retreat as well, so they could ask me questions around that in the coaching session. And so that was filled up, and I think probably out of the 12, I had 7 discovery calls. And then I ran it again another week or 2 later, because I was in limited time. Right. Like, okay, I'm booking this retreat and I'm doing this training.
You had the place in Byron Bay all booked, ready to go, right? You had the dream, you had the vision. Now it's like, great, let's fill it.
Yeah, let's do it. So I was really just doing it on the fly. knowing that I had years of experience and stuff and
Yes.
knowledge to bring to it as well.
Yeah.
But it was pretty edgy. And so then I didn't have a lot of time to like fill this retreat.
Yeah.
So I ran it again in another week or two. Same format, put it out again, got the same similar numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
once again, discovery calls. And, I had a goal of 10 women.
Yep.
And I got that. I got
Yeah.
8
Wow.
in the retreat and 2 online, one from Switzerland, one from North Queensland, with
Amazing.
lots of others sitting there going, I want to do the next one.
Yes. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was fun. Yeah.
So it's kind of getting that, building up that demand and the desire for them to join you in the next one. And tell me about the actual first, because also we might point out that the retreat was then part of the bigger program that we were able to build from your signature system too, like all the elements of your expertise of what
Yes.
you want to share. But we're able to create this as a bit of a certification. Like these women can start running their own circles
Yes.
with the framework that you're sharing with them, with
Yes.
online training and live training in a retreat.
Yes.
So tell us about the first weekend where you had the women come to Byron.
Okay. Okay, so there was 8 women, and none of them had met each other before. We had a range of ages, and up to, I guess, someone in her late 50s and right down to probably early 30s.
Yeah.
This retreat was my best stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
I couldn't overplan. It was very much, I had to just bring what I could at the time, but I had all the elements there and the passion and the heart, and
Yeah.
I was really showing up with my best self.
Yeah.
And I loved that. Like I was able to just be myself and bring all the gifts that no other container had provided that for me, where I could be live and interact, and we ate together. They all brought an offering, as in they all had the opportunity to share something around teaching circle. So they all
beautiful.
facilitated circle.
Yeah.
Plus we did a lot of sacred feminine embodiment work and how to step into their leadership work. Mm-hmm. We did releasing some of the old and inviting into the new. We had music and dance, and they came along to one of my passions, which is NIA, dance practice, conscious dance practice.
Beautiful.
We did early morning yoga. We did early morning walks on the beach.
Yeah.
We ate over delicious vegan meals. We shared and we just talked, and the friendships that came out of that was
beautiful.
They are just beyond thrilled with what happened that weekend, and they are so close. The posts that are there now, we only met we only had 72 hours together, and we are just like lifelong friends. And
wow,
they are just. I have only got like 10 in my mastermind Facebook group, and they are showing up with Facebook Lives. They are like supporting each other. You would swear there was like 100 people in there. There's so much activity.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It's alive, and it's just the best I've ever had from any of my online programs.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been rich as well, but there's something about this that's just taken it to the next level.
Yeah, and it's that different dimension, right, that you're bringing in and allowing. This is a great example of allowing that collective to rise up, that you really can guide it and move people forward, but you're not the biggest part of this. It's a true mastermind. The collective comes up, and the way you are weaving in their teaching as well into bringing that into the mastermind is just genius. That's part of the true mastermind too, where they feel like they're contributing. They're not just, when you do an online course, you're like, I'm in the group and I'll do this, and you're very much the student. But being able to there's not that many opportunities now where you can contribute. And what I love about a mastermind is that we can have all these different expertise, and particularly in the Mastermind Success Secrets program, we do this too, where, each woman brings something different, and there's expertise that we can draw on to really, make the overall transformation work for everybody, even if it's just a business transformation, isn't it?
It's absolutely. Like it is. There's more touch and feel and more live transformative opportunities there for women, instead of it just being something that as you said, just taking content. It's, the opportunity for transformation. Like I had women break through confidence issues.
Yeah, huge.
And, just been able to feel the support of everyone else around them, and how that's, like I've had others that they've done online courses before.
Yes.
But they're like, and they've even got online groups. Like another's
Yeah.
got an online group. She's like, I don't even want to be in that anymore. I want to be in this group. Right? This is the one where I feel like I'm so connected. And the thing is, the two women that didn't actually come to the retreat are so diving in now, because the tone and the friendship and the connection and the aliveness that's in the circle and the permission is just bringing them right in, and they just feel so part of it. So it's possible to have like that international component for people that don't even join the live.
Yeah.
As long as there's this basic, for me anyway, for my group, for what I was offering, what I am offering, just to have that live component or more touch, where they have that togetherness, has then created almost this magnetic core. Yeah, it's core resonance that people can just feel like they're more likely to show up and be themselves and dive in and ask questions and come on Facebook Live and
Yeah, and I think it's an important lesson too, that you were able to create that. You didn't really have it all figured out and know that it was all going to work, but and I think by us being able to flesh it out too, you were able to sort of have that confidence to then go there. I think it had been sitting in your psyche for quite some time, right, to do this, but you were like, oh, I can't, I've already done it. Tell me a bit about that, like what helped you kind of make the leap or take the leap?
I think I guess it was the comfort. First of all, it was the permission to leave behind what I already created and spent lots of blood, sweat and tears over. And I think knowing that it was okay to park that. Yeah. Even though I'd spent like the first few months with you, just a couple of months. Yeah. On that particular program. Yeah. And so I created a webinar and invested in the webinar software and everything. Yes. But I needed permission to park that, because actually there was something more that wanted to come through that fed me. My life was energy, fed my soul, allowed me to feel like I actually want to keep doing this. And you were able to do that, Victoria. I think, your ability to tease out, I guess, to really deeply listen and to be able to tease out what was my deep desires, and to not have to allow, to, I guess, to create, help co-create with me something that was uniquely me and not have to be the cookie cutter. Yeah. Which I really am so grateful for. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
I'm so grateful for you, because this is also being able to share those kind of breakthroughs is so important to me too, because, and you've seen this, people, kind of just staying stuck. They've got this course, it's not really moving. They've already invested a lot. So it feels like I don't want to invest again because I'm going to get let down, or I don't trust myself. Maybe it's me. Maybe really nobody wants what I have. Right. And I'm sure like we both probably felt that at different times, right? Like it's just that, the existential crisis of being in the online world. Really, no, I'm not. I've got nothing to share. Forget it. I may as well just go back and, do whatever. Yes. But when you can find the right way to bring it to life, and just the evolution, and really you didn't have to create, in fact now you're creating the online course, right? You've already you've sold it, now you create it. Yes, you got to get that done, but once it's done, great. But people, you didn't need that for people to say yes. You actually didn't. We did some ads for your workshop, and you utilized the traffic sources on Eventbrite and Meetup, as well as your own list and your own social networks to fill the workshops. Yeah. But aside from like a little bit on those Facebook ads, you weren't running like some big launch or marketing campaign to get 10 spots in your certification program filled. Right? Like I think that's a really important takeaway for people to understand what's possible when you just decide, right? You did have to do 2 workshops, right? Like it's stepping up to visibility. It's like going, shit, are people going to come? All of those things. But the best testament to that was how many women were like, yes, please. Yes, please. Like, there wasn't another space for them to be seen and heard and connected in that way. And that's where you're making the big, big difference, right? Aside from just to your own life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what helped was also just you aligning me back to what parts were important, connecting with those mothers, whereas normally I wouldn't have done that as much. So prior to the workshop. So just, I guess what I found so useful was you were able to orientate me to what was important. And I didn't have to sort of like get lost doing the things that weren't.
Yeah.
And also the way you worded things. So you'd like say, these are the words you'd use on your offering. And these are the 3 points that you're doing. This is what the outcome you're offering these women. And so I guess I could spend hours looping around trying to create those words, whereas you just like, oh no, this is it. It's like, okay.
And you know I am a bit of a straight shooter at times, just a little bit. No, you're doing that. Let's go.
Yeah, and I think that's really great because it's sometimes we like to be told, like, and of course we always have permission to see if that sits authentically true with us. But I think, you have been able to have that capacity to be able to tune in and really sit very closely and sometimes really nail it.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. I feel like there's a part of just being outside of it to be able to do that, but also having seen what can work, what can't. And in the last live I was doing, I was saying that exact same thing, that I was speaking to someone yesterday and I was like, no, not going to work. I just know straight away it's not going to work. Not that I say that to most people, but that one in particular, I was like, no. But with yours, it was like, yeah, great. I think we can do this. Or even with the online course, when you came to me with that, it was like, okay, I can see where maybe we just need to kind of tweak the messaging. And that was still resonating. But I feel like it needed your full embodiment of really just going, yeah, I know where I'm going. You didn't. I think based on all those years of even being out in the wilds in New Guinea with, new mothers and all that beautiful work you've done over the years of helping mothers kind of hands-on, that's in essence who you are. So it felt like I think there was just a barrier there for you not being able to see these people and inspire them in that way. And even now that you've had the retreat, you can do that in a better way online because you can still have that interaction weekly with them and in the group. But I feel like that was just such an essential for you to be able to wrap that up in your offer.
The live part.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Really it just feeds me so much. And I know that I can have more transformative impact.
Yeah.
When I'm live as well, and I love that part.
Yeah, and don't you think as well? It's so easy for us, when people say this to me all the time too. So I'm not immune to it either. But it's people when people meet me live, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you were like kind of friendly and fun." I think that they see you on online, and because we're so head up in, we've got to look this way, and then we're a bit stiff, and we're not really expressing who we are. I think my connection's going a bit slow there. It can really impact what people, how people see us. But I think I might be breaking up, so hopefully not. But
yeah, that's exactly. And the feedback I had was the mothers were saying things like, I love how you just, you're with us the whole time, and you're not, you don't think you're better than us, and you're just giving so much. And I guess that's the live experience, isn't it? They get to meet you as a person. And
yeah, it's beautiful. So if people do want to see the work that you do, and you are a mother who wants to kind of activate some sacred mama circles of your own, they can come and find you on intuitivemotherhood.com, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Beautiful. So they can come and see what you got. I think everything's breaking up a little bit, so I might wrap up the call there a bit fuzzy. But it's great to have you in Mastermind Success Secrets. I wanted to show the different stories that can come about from that core curriculum and of having you in the program, and seeing your beautiful transformation has been amazing. So thank you for today as well, Jada, and we'll soon.
Loved being in your mastermind, and I recommend it to anyone that is take their program and create something